Hello everybody, getting ready to do lesson 1.5 part 1 pre-algebra math classwork lesson today. And you got 30 points go on your classwork sheet. You got 11 points into your notebook. Have those out. Students, put your name, date, period here, and then due date here for onliners and homeschoolers. And we go into our bell work for today. Evaluate the expression when x equals -8, and then evaluate this expression when x equals -8 down here. Teachers, give your students about 3 minutes to do this. See you in 3. Okay, welcome back everybody for the solutions for today's bell work up here. When we put in -8 for x here, x equals -8, we have 5 plus a negative of x, and then when we put our -8 in for x, we get 5 plus the negative of a -8, and that comes out to 5 plus a negative of a negative would be a positive here. 5 plus 8 would equal 13. Then down here, when x equals -8, we put in -8 in here for absolute value. What's the absolute value of -8? It's positive 8 plus 10 would be 18. So that would be your solution for number 2. Okay, into our lesson today, into your notebook. Adding integers is what this lesson is about. Before you added decimals, now you'll add integers and decimals. So you can find a hockey player's plus minus rating as in example 18. So into your notebook entry, page 2, a scuba diver studying marine life is 4 feet below sea level. From that depth, the diver descends 72 feet to the ocean floor and then rises 61 feet. The diver rests there to avoid decompression illness. Where is the diver relative to sea level? So there's a question there that we aim to answer during this lesson. So one way to add integers is to use a number line. So here's a number line. So we could add integers so long as they occur on this number line. So to add a negative integer, move to the left. So we move to the left to add a negative. And then to add a positive integer, we move to the right from the origin here, usually, or from the integer that we're interested in. Okay, let's try one now. Adding integers is using a number line to find the sum. So let's use a number line to find this sum here, 3 plus the -9. So we start here, end at -6. So here's our 3. We start at 3, and then we add a -9. So that means we go 9 units to the left, and we end up here at -6. So 3 plus a -9 would be a -6, correct? So we move 9 units to the left, and we stop at -6 on a number line. So the final position is -6, so 3 plus a -9 would be a -6. Let's try another one, adding integers using a number line. So -5 plus 3. So for -5, we start at -5, then we go to the right 3 units, move to the right 3 units, and we end at -2. So that would be the way that you use a number line to solve this sum here. So the final position is -2, so -5 plus 3 would be -2. Let's try one now. Our guided practice up here. Use the number line to find a sum. So we have 8 plus a -11. Down here, students, this is yours. Pay attention so you can solve this. 8 plus a -11. So do with that one. So use the number line to find a sum. 8 plus a -11. So we start at 8, right? We start here at 8, and then we go to the left 11 units, and we end up here at -3. So 8 plus a -11 would be -3. So we start at 8, go to the left 11 units. This is what this negative means. Goes to the left 11 units, and we end up at -3. So 8 plus a -11 would be 3. Into your notebook entry, absolute values. You can use absolute values to find the sum of 2 or more integers. So adding integers, words, and then numbers. So 1, same sign, add the absolute values and use common sign. So if two integers have the same sign, we just keep the sign and we just combine them together. So 8 plus 12 will be 20. Negative 6 and negative 4, they got the same sign, so we just add them and we have negative 10. And now two different signs. Subtract the lesser absolute value from the greater absolute value and use the sign of the number with a greater absolute value. So 5 plus a negative 8, which is a greater integer, negative 8. So 5 plus a negative 8 will be negative 3. So we start at negative 8, we go to the right 5 units, and we end up in negative 3. And then negative 11 plus 13, which is the greatest number? 13. So we start at 13, we go to the left 11 units, and we end up at positive 2. And then 3 opposites. The sum of a number and its opposite is 0. So 7 plus a negative 7 would be 0. Okay, so moving along here into our notebook, page 7, additive inverse property. The opposite of a number is always called its what? Additive inverse. Item 3 in the notebook can be written algebraically. So a plus a negative a would be 0 and is called the additive inverse property. This would be the algebraic expression of saying add a 1 and negative 1. So this would be the algebra for that. So now students, define in your own words what is an additive inverse. Okay, in your own words, put that here. This is 5 points in your notebook. And let's go to another example here. So adding two integers, find the sum of negative 54 plus a negative 28. So these have the same sign, right? So we just combine these together. Negative 54 and negative 28. Both integers are negative, so the sum is negative. Same sign, so add the absolute value of negative 54 and the absolute value of negative 28. So what's 54 and 28? It would be 82, and you keep the sign, so it would be a negative 82. Let's try another one here. Find the sum of 38 and negative 17. We have different signs here, right? So what do we do with different signs? We keep the sign of the larger integer. The absolute value of 38 is larger than the absolute value of negative 17, right? So 38 is larger, so we know it's going to be positive. 38 is larger than the absolute value of negative 17. So the sum has the same sign as 38, which is positive. So it'd just be like 38, and then we go to the left 17 units, and we end up at 21. Okay, let's find this sum. This is yours down here, students. Our guided practice, negative 41 plus 26. So to do that one, find the sum, negative 41 plus 26. So negative 41 plus 26, we got a larger value here, absolute value for negative 41. So we know this is going to be negative. So negative 41 plus 26 be like starting at negative 41, moving to the right 26 units, then we would end up at negative 15. So the larger absolute value here is negative 41, so we end up at negative 15 for that. So that was 1.5 part 1 pre-algebra math classwork lesson. Questions or course materials, email me at animated PowerPoint math video at AOL.com. Thank you very much.